Yeah, and actually only posted the link one time and they schedule it from there. And I mean, I need to post it again. But yeah,
And how long are the calls that you're doing?
between 15 and 30 minutes, probably.
That's not bad. Great job. Good job, man.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna take
So
us live
awesome.
on Facebook.
sounds good.
So awesome. I don't know how many people signed up for the live today.
So the link is in the events, but I think people are having.
It's not working.
It's the same link. It looks like it's working. I updated the description. But it was already in the description too, so I posted it to the moms group, and then maybe the live will bring people our way.
Yeah, I know when I went in there, and clicked on the events, it showed that there were none today, which I thought was odd.
That's what I saw. There's the last one was November 17th.
That could be a problem. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, maybe I didn't create the link. Maybe that is the problem.
I just went into like the prior event. Maybe I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it didn't go forward. We can fix that.
I thought I'd scheduled those out till the end of the year.
Nothing in December.
That's weird. Okay. Well, I need to do that. Put that on my list.
Maybe that's why some of those questions were happening yesterday about events. There were
Well,
several
one of
questions.
them was in the coaching group and the events are there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I double checked. Well, let me make sure, but I thought I double checked.
Cool. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning.
No, now it's a party. Debbie's here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the coaching group is good.
There we go.
Cool. How's everyone's weeks going? How's the start of the month feeling? Everyone.
Well, we're
It's hard
coming-
to believe it's December the 1st.
Yes, mine's coming in like a lion today. We had a pretty rough evening with our daughter and got her back to sleep after 4 o'clock. And
Oh no.
yeah, so I got a little stiff neck today. But other than that, we're good.
But you got your logo done. You got your EIN.
Yes, so today my focus is trying to get the social media platforms set up and then
Perfect.
try to get my bank account going tomorrow. And yes, I have in my mind my plan, but today is going to be a little slower than expected.
That's okay. It happens. Most definitely happens.
Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Diana. Lonnie.
Morning.
So Megan, we might have to go a different direction with our plan topic.
Okay.
So
I'm game. What we got?
But I guess real quick, does anyone have any questions or any stuck points that they're facing?
I think for me, I'd like to see some of the bookkeeping side of things. I don't know, either in the coaching group or in this group, it doesn't matter. Just to familiarize myself a little bit more before I take on any clients.
I am going to, I was going to try to do it tomorrow, but I haven't posted anything. I'm going to do a live bookkeep with me. Megan sent me the confidentiality form, so I've just got to get that. But that
Okay.
will be only the coaching businesses.
Okay. Yep, that's fine.
Thank
you.
That will just be me live doing bookkeeping for my clients. So it won't be recorded. Well, it will be recorded, but it'll be recorded for us internally, so we can mix and edits for it to make it available later.
Okay. And then Eileen, I do have a question for you as well. I've heard you're just the most amazing guru with sales calls. So
She is. She
I'm
is.
just curious, before I would take on a first client with a discovery call, can we do kind of like a mock call in a mentor type session?
Yes, you have one-to-ones in your session. So if Eileen's up for it, you could definitely use it for that.
Yeah. So basically you say, hello, introduce yourself. And the next line is really important. Visa or MasterCard. And then that's it.
Yeah,
It's so
well,
simple.
I'm hoping it's that simple.
Megan's been trying it this week. It's worked, right?
It's worked, yeah.
I love it. Perfect.
Uh-huh. Cool.
And Lacey, if you record your sales calls, Eileen does sales call
Uh-huh.
reviews as well.
Okay, yes, I'm aware of that. I'm
Okay.
gonna try to set up Google Meet for that piece. And I'm all new to that. I've done a little bit with Zoom and I've had, of course, Facebook Messenger, which is not your platform you want to do that on. So I just have to learn the recording aspect of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You know, whether you do Zoom or on your phone, the Rev app, or on your computer, the voice recorder, that works.
Okay,
And it doesn't have to be an actual discovery call. You can do a role play with a friend of yours, maybe,
okay,
to get feedback as well. If you don't have any discovery calls, to get primed for that.
That's an awesome idea.
Mhm.
mhm. And then I'm sorry, I'm just gonna bombard you with questions. So since I know there's other people in our group and I don't remember who, I don't know if any of them are on here right now. I guess I can show my face. I don't have to hide from you guys. But I was thinking that since I'm coming from a teaching background, new to this, it's very different perspective coming in and trying to jumpstart and get clients. Is it possible to link up with possibly someone else in my similar situation that's coming from like a teaching background and trying to learn this as well? To kind of brainstorm and
Of
jumpstart some
course.
ideas.
Yeah,
I
definitely
just don't know who they are.
post in the coaching businesses group.
Okay.
I was trying to think of, I know we have somebody else in there who was a teacher.
I know there's
I
one
can't-
because they had responded to me. They said, well, I come from a teaching background too, and they're using a lot of the paid coaching in order
Yeah, I
to
can't
kind of build. And I
recall.
don't remember who it is.
Oh, Nicole, definitely. Nicole, for sure. But I feel like there's somebody else too. But definitely post in there.
Okay.
And then and then they'll comment or whatever, but I'm sure whoever's in there would be happy to kind of do that and stuff, you know, that came from that background.
Sure. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
Good morning, Belita.
How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Good.
It's good and busy. We bailed on 2 of them. We have 3 back to back, so I sent just my husband and the boys to 2 of them.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes that could be nice.
Yes.
We didn't do a whole lot this year either, and I was kind of glad too because it was kind of quiet. Debbie, always interesting. I'm sure everything with you is always interesting.
Oh, thanks a bunch.
I'm sure you keep it fun.
So in December, we're starting to think about 1099s and year end and all of those things. If you have questions, definitely be posting those. We're gonna do, Meryl agreed to do the 1099 training. We're just nailing down the date. Whether it'll be next week or the week after, right, Megan? I don't think we.
Correct.
Yeah, so as soon as we nail down that date today or tomorrow, we'll announce that with him. And then it'll just be getting new clients going into the new year and working forward. Right?
Yep.
Do you
And
have
we
any
have,
goals for next year? Oh, sorry, go for it.
no, that's what I was gonna say. We were doing a goal setting workshop for one of the webinars this month. So perfect time to start thinking about all that.
You guys are quiet today.
I know.
Um, how fun.
How
So-
did quoting webinar go? I wasn't able to get to that.
It went well. So she just dove into what are some things to ask the client and think about in your global quoting journey and how to approach it. So things to cover like cash or accrual, how many transactions, and she gave you a framework, an engagement letter, an ACH form, things like that. So a super helpful resource if you want to have it.
Okay, but I can still get it right.
For sure. Yeah,
Okay.
all of the webinars are available on our Thinkific site. So we can make sure you get them through that
Thanks.
as well. I've already been asked to do a follow-up to that quoting training, Megan, by the way.
Oh, really?
Interested. They had a follow-up perspective and they're like, can you do this? So
Awesome.
we could, there's not enough weeks in the month.
I know.
to do
Especially
everything.
with the holidays. The holidays kind of, it's hard to plan a lot.
Yeah. I'm like, I've got all these like things we need to do, or want to do just to answer questions. But I know Megan and I had kind of talked before getting on. We've had some interesting conversations this week with students and other coaches from other programs this week. And one of the things that came up for me and Megan simultaneously was dealing with incorrect information that had been either taught and carried forward or found in the Facebook group, like Facebook groups in general, not like specifically ours or specifically another one, but where people will go post questions and then they'll get an answer and either their post wasn't very descriptive on what the true problem was, or the commenter didn't explain all of the caveats around their answer. So it was interesting as we had this conversation that Megan and I both had calls where we were actually correcting information that had come from those type of environments. So just a reminder to be posting questions and making sure that if you still have questions, you are utilizing one-to-ones to make sure you're not carrying incorrect ideas around accounting forward for your clients' books, because sometimes if you misunderstand one little thing, then you do it for multiple clients, and now it's like affecting more clients. So if you have questions or doubts on what you've been told, or you don't fully understand something, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to share your screen and show you what might be true for that client.
Yeah, and just to touch on that a little, another thing that we saw was like just asking a general, like very basic question. Yes, we give you the answer to that, but this particular client, once looking at the books, that wasn't the case for that particular client. So like the one-to-one sometimes are very helpful, or making sure that we have all the information when you ask a question. If it's just in the Facebook group, is super important as well to make sure that you're getting the correct answers.
So we monitor this moms group as much as possible. You'll see the team email or Facebook profile respond, and that is overseen by me and Megan. So we do pay attention, I guess more Megan. But we do watch those, and we try to read as many of them as we can. Sometimes, some days you guys are way quicker than we can keep up with. And then in the coaching businesses group, we do review those, and all the coaches respond to all of those. So when in doubt, please ask. There is no stupid question. And here's the link to that website, Lolita, and anyone else who might want it. So that's where you can get all of the trainings, for the most part. And we're trying to add the calls and these calls and things to it.
Hey, Sherry,
Yes, ma'am.
I was looking on there and the cleanup, the 5-day cleanup does not seem to be on there, or
Yeah.
I'm just not loopy.
No, you're good. It's a little funky. So can you see my screen with?
Yes.
So here, if.
Oh, there it is now.
you're
Duh.
good. So if you go to all products, I think it defaults to webinars and trainings, and then here's the cleanup series.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
If you're in this is available to everyone. This is the free resources that we have. So the 5-day marketing challenge. And then our
Yeah.
lives, and then this is just the Wednesday workouts and how to get to the Facebook group and things like that. So
Thank you.
yeah.
So if we're in that, I can go to that, I can go that and get anything and just pay for it to that.
Correct.
Oh,
So the only thing that's not on there is the one-to-ones, correct, Sherry?
The one-to-ones are not on there. Technically neither is the Upwork, because the Upwork was way before. So
Okay.
that's still on the main site. Hopefully in the new year, we're just gonna move to this site directly, completely.
for everything.
For everything.
Oh, okay. Because I like that site. It's a nice site. Whoever put it together, it is nice.
Sherry.
I agree. And combining everything in one spot would really streamline everything too.
Mm.
Wouldn't be picking and guessing, well, where was that?
Yeah. So I apologize for the split that has happened this fall, but this site definitely helps facilitate those courses and webinars better for you guys versus the other site. It wasn't as nice to upload to, and we couldn't do as much with it for you guys as we wanted.
Can I give a shameless plug, like for the coaching group? And if you guys have any questions, it can be confusing about why you would want to join or if it's right for you. I would suggest having a call with Megan and pin her down and ask her hard questions, and be nice to her though.
Please.
Yeah, definitely pin her down. She's a little squirrely.
She is. She is. Oh, you throw her a few little nuts, she's fine. But yeah, I would schedule a call with her, because there's a lot, she could list it here, but it's still a lot to remember. And some people just want to talk with somebody. So I would recommend just scheduling a call with her.
Yep, I dropped the link in the live. If anybody wants it, I'll drop it here as well. If anybody needs to schedule or wants to schedule. Thank you, Eileen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And there's so many different aspects of your business than just the solving the bookkeeping. So we're here for that too, as you grow and their seasons change for sure.
For those people who are building their business, I know there's, I agree with you, Sherry, there's so many little pieces to the puzzle. What piece personally has been the hardest for different people? What do you think? Has it been the bookkeeping, the selling, the marketing, let's see, what else, the mindset, what else is there?
I would say for me, coming in brand new, because I'm pretty much dropping the past career and trying to start something new away from my own realm of kids. So it's a bit scary. So there's a bit of a mindset issue, as well as it's like I like to go into things feeling confident that I know exactly where I'm going and what I'm going to ask and what I'm doing. And so the bookkeeping side, I still not 100% confident in my skill level there. So that's why I'm like, I definitely want to see more of that in practice and feel like I do need more training in that area. So my goal is to also set up my back office with some of my own books of my expenses I paid in so far and see how I feel with that and then go from there. But I do feel like it's trying to hit the ground running and take off. I don't want to flop. I don't want to fall on my face. So there is that fear of failure. And, reaching out to friends oftentimes is not the place where you want to go because you don't want to end up in a tight situation with that, ruin that friendship either. So I think there's a lot involved with trying to set up and get going without having the background that like Sherry's had. And I'm not sure. I know, Megan, you haven't had that background either, but you had like banking or something else. No, nothing.
Not me.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. I thought somebody else I talked to, they're like, well, I had a banking background. I say, well, then you can understand that side of things. So
It wasn't me.
so somebody else, but that's kind of where I'm coming from.
But you don't fail. There's no such thing as fail.
Right.
There's a thing, my son has played hockey for 21 years and it's you win or you learn. And if I could sit down and list all the things that I thought I failed at, I didn't fail. I learned a crap ton.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think of it as failing. Think of it more as I have all these people behind me. They're going to help me learn this. Even if I make a mistake, mistakes are not failure. It's a learning opportunity, right? So when you don't take advantage of these folks that are helping to guide us, then you might think about, well, I really tripped up there. But yeah, it's
Right.
it's not failure. Nix that word.
Well, and I like this group. I feel like there's a lot of support built in. Like yesterday, I sent both Sherry and Megan my logo options. I said, which one do you like? And I just needed that reassurance that, oh, well, we'll go with this one. And because we like this one best, because I was like, I'm on the fence. And I thought about putting it on my personal Facebook page and saying, hey, I'm starting this business. Which logo do you guys like? Just to kind of generate responses and see from the friends. I probably will, but I think I'm pretty hooked on what I'm going to go with. So they're not going to be my decision maker, but that's okay. They can go ahead and weigh in on that. Because yes, it's starting a whole new thing. I don't even have a LinkedIn page. So I watched that webinar last night. And so my husband's like, oh, I can help you with that. You don't have to pay for a one-on-one for that. I'm like, all right. Cause he's of course got LinkedIn. So.
And I think that's actually, Eileen, to answer your question, I think the biggest, so I see a lot of people jump in, they get overwhelmed, but the biggest issue is getting stuck, whether it's doing the bookkeeping or, Lacey overcame her, I just have to do this moment, but there's been a couple of cleanups even this month that people have come to me for, and they come to me just stuck with, I have no clue what the next step is. I've been putting this off for weeks on end. Now I'm stressed. Now I'm losing sleep. Now I'm like in this like overwhelm of I promised the client, maybe I overcommitted, whatever it is. But ultimately they just freeze. So whether it's the mindset or actually doing the bookkeeping or setting up your business to manage your mood based. I don't know. When you figure that one out, let me know, because I have toddlers and full moons and all of those things. But So I feel like this month, as I look back at the calls I've had with students, it's been just getting them to that next step so that they can make a mile of progress, right? So I feel like I'm just solving this inch of issue so that they can make a mile of progress before they need us again. And often they do. They're like, oh, hey, I had this one other question. They could, post in the group, we answer it, and then they make a mile of progress, which is really fun to see. And that's like, I've seen it in mindset, I've seen it in the bookkeeping, and I've seen it in client growth. And mindset. We've seen it in mindset a lot this month too.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is like make sure you reach out, or if we reach out, you tell us, because a lot of times it's like I've seen people just sit there and never ask, or even when we reach out, okay, everything's fine, I'm good, whatever. And then like really they're struggling or whatever. And it's something that we could help with. Like we could definitely help make sure you're reaching out. That's what we're here for. There's no stupid questions. There's no silly questions. We've all been there. So definitely ask.
And it does feel like when you're first starting out, you don't know what questions you should be asking, right? Lacey, you mentioned my background, and sometimes I hate that I have the background when I'm talking to you guys, because I feel like it creates this barrier of, well, because you've been doing it for so long, or you have formal training or whatnot. But that also didn't teach me to be a business owner. That didn't teach me to do it on my own. That doesn't mean I had coworkers to go ask questions to. And so when I started my business, I knew within the first 6 months, I was like, I need coworkers, I need people around me. This guy is doing this weird accounting thing. It's not accounting. How do I fix it in QuickBooks or whatever it is? And you also have to know when to reach out for help. And early on, I would say it's okay to ask more questions than you feel like you even need to or intended to, because it will help educate you later on when you see something that's worthy of a question. That's outside of the scope of a bookkeeper or things like that. I feel like one of the biggest things I keep saying biggest thing is start point. I agree with that. But another thing I commonly see is bookkeepers overcommitting beyond the scope of bookkeeping. So trying to provide legal services or tax advice or these things that are from a liability standpoint, even from a knowledge standpoint, while it seems like you can type up this document for them, I think we forget, it needs to hold up in court. That's a contract between them and someone else or something like that. And knowing where those boundaries are, because clients do, hey, you're an admin person, you're a bookkeeper, can you also fill this task list out for me? Like, they're business owners too, and they have a lot of things to do. And sometimes the virtual assistant side of what we do can be really blurred. And I say I'm not a virtual assistant. Obviously, bookkeeping can fall in the scope of virtual assistants. But I kind of say that so I can draw a line between, if you think a virtual assistant can do it, probably need an actual virtual assistant. Or check with them first. If it's bookkeeping, that's in my realm. But just food for that. Sorry.
And I have another question. How do you decide your like niche market? Do you like starting out, do you just kind of go with whoever you can get and just kind of build from there and decide what you like and what you don't like? Or I mean, how did you guys go about kind of developing, well, this is a better market for me? Because I'm like marketing on LinkedIn. I know it's great to have a niche market, but of course I'm new and I don't have a clue which way I'm going to go or what's going to be best.
So I'll say right now, I don't have a niche. Eileen has a niche for her sales business. Megan doesn't have a niche. Debbie,
We do for this business.
So here's the benefit of having a niche. And the benefit is you narrow down the number of people or like where you're looking for people, right? So then you can identify who you're talking to. So you're starting to use language that talks to the person you want to do the books for. The other benefit is they know who they're looking for then, right? It's a, okay, yes, you know my industry or not. With a niche, though, you can always change it, right? So if you go down like a dentist route, you can always change to chiropractors. You can always change it, but it narrows your focus, so you have like a focus. With me, because I've used Upwork, I don't niche because I can't on Upwork to the same degree. You can, but that's not how I approached it. Megan, you do a
I
lot of,
tr-
you have a small area, so.
Yeah, I tried to when I first launched my business because that's all I kept hearing was you have to niche down, you have to niche down. And I was coming from, I worked at a tractor dealership, so I knew a lot of farmers, lawn care people, stuff like that. I was already friends with them on Facebook because I was doing the marketing for the tractor dealership and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this is the route I'm going. I do not have one of those clients. I've never had one of those clients. So it did not work out the way I had planned, but I opened, like I was also open to the fact, like that's where my marketing was more targeted toward, but I was also open to the fact of like, hey, whoever comes this way, I'm going to kind of take them. And that's, so yeah. And then like now I have several estheticians, hair salon, massage therapists. So those are kind of all in the same realm, I guess. And then like contractors and when I say contractors, like flooring company, I have 2 flooring companies, you know, stuff like that. So like anything when you talk contracting. But yeah, I haven't really niched down.
I've been told
I
by
kinda
a
like
coach
that.
before, that you shouldn't niche until you've hit 6 figures in revenue. So until you've hit your target, like almost any client will do. We're going to say yes to any client. Debbie points out that you can have a niche, but help others too. So the niche helps. The primary goal of a niche, and Eileen, correct me if I'm wrong, is to help direct your marketing, so that you're building keywords and SEO into your marketing, so that it's easier to find. And they know, like, the words that you start using when you're talking to a niche starts to actually identify their pain points and their problems, which will resonate further than if you're just saying, hey, warm body, I want to do your books. Hey, warm body. I'm going to just sell. It changes the stories you're telling.
Yeah, I would take a page out of Chelsea's to say her niche is real estate investing, but she says that's what she specializes in.
Mhm.
She'll take anybody.
Yep.
So it opens up the door.
She did say that.
Mhm.
So when you do construction, I've been looking at different besides QuickBooks, a lot of construction workers use other types of software. Do you go to their software or you look for the ones that do QuickBooks online?
What software?
Yeah,
a
most
lot
of
their
them-
software, you still have to use QuickBooks because it doesn't
Right.
capture all of the expenses.
Mhm,
So it's like their invoicing software,
mhm.
versus like their accounting system.
So you might have to use 2 different software.
They might
You-
be using to. Sorry.
Yeah, it's going to be more like what I've seen with the clients that I had and have worked on is like they'll use that for like invoice, and you might have to go in there and pull reports, or sometimes they have it integrated or whatever. But your main focus is QuickBooks, and you're just making what's in QuickBooks match. Like they want that stuff over. But yeah, like Sherry said, not all the information's in QuickBooks because this is how they're invoicing, this is how they're doing their payments, but none of their expenses or anything are in there half the time. So that's where QuickBooks is coming in. So you're not necessarily working 2 systems. They need a bookkeeping system and their business system.
Okay, so that difference, okay. See, that kind of threw me off, like, wait a minute, do I need to do both of those, or do I know all of these different softwares? Do I need to learn all these different
Yeah,
softwares?
not necessarily. I have access to most of my clients' software, so I can go in and pull the reports that I need, or if I run into an issue, I can go log in and I can go look at it. But it's pretty much logging in, looking at reports, or confirming, hey, this was for that client or customer, or whatever the case is. It's not like I'm physically doing work in there or anything.
Okay. Another question is, can I pull statements from my clients' QuickBooks when they give it to me? Can I, instead of them giving me all their statements, can I pull those statements from QuickBooks into their software so that I can see their statements, bank
So
statements?
can you pull the bank statements from QuickBooks instead of logging in? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
So some bank accounts, yes, and some QuickBooks accounts, yes, but not all. Like I have a client who's has advanced subscription, so like I've always been able to pull. Well, QuickBooks did their update and they let some of the other ones have access or whatever too. Now I can't pull statements at all from his, so we have to log into the bank. So, and then also the other thing you run into a lot of times is the statements don't have pictures of the checks in it. So you still need login information to get the pictures of the check images and stuff. So it really depends. It depends on the banks more or less.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
And then another question, and I don't know if it's been covered in a previous meeting or not, but how do we help guide them in selecting the right QuickBooks for their business if they are new and trying to figure out which they need advanced or if they need?
Did you signed up for CBG, you said, correct?
Not yet,
Not yet. Okay.
but do they
When
do
you
that?
Well, when you do, they have some documents on like your login page that you log in through them that kind of help your clients decide. So that's what I used in the beginning, but also feel free to post and ask us. But usually essentials is what I go with, unless they need not invoicing, project tracking or something else, then I'll lean toward plus. But yeah, feel free to ask us if you want to
Okay.
let us know what type of client or anything like that, and we can kind of help guide you as well in the beginning. But once you kind of learn what they need, then you'll kind of be able to look at, hey, these are the features that Essential Plus and Essentials are the two most popular ones that you're going to use. Like my client with Advanced, he's paying for Advanced, and I have no idea why. Honestly, he's been paying for it for years, but he did that before I got on with. But and I have a couple that are like that, but yeah.
So if they would need to transition to a different plan, does all of their QuickBooks feed over into it when they upgrade, or if they decide to downgrade, or do they have to kind of start from scratch?
As long as it's not self-employed.
Yeah.
So if it's
Never do
if you're
self-employed.
upgrading to Essentials or Essentials to Plus, Plus to Advanced, those all it's just the same QuickBooks file. They're just turning on and off features that you have access to. If it's QuickBooks Enterprise or QuickBooks Desktop, things like that, those won't come over, right? But the Essentials through Advanced, those will merge.
Okay, and then I've heard desktop is going out. That's what I've heard on some of the other ones. I don't know if that's true. But if that is the case, moving people over, then it's kind of like starting over then.
Yes and no, you can convert their desktop to online. So Dan with CBG can help with that. QuickBooks can help with that. I've used QuickBooks before to convert someone over from desktop to online. It was right before I met Dan, and so that you can do. But
Okay. I was just curious if I ever run into that. Hopefully I don't, but
you can always
you
start
never
fresh
know.
and then have them keep their records outside of it. And you could import beginning about like their trial balance info. So you have their retained earnings, their prior year balances. For comparison sake, you could do that.
So I have a request because I need some marketing help. And I just chatted with Megan about this. So everybody knows that, yes, I've got sales, but I also do mindset, subconscious mindset, the EFT work, emotional freedom technique, which I'm going to be launching that in the beginning of 2023. I would like feedback on some of the marketing that I'm doing. It's called My Story Marketing. And it's probably the hardest thing I've ever written. And in exchange, you get a free session. So you would have to raise your hand in the next week. You know, you can't like a month from now say, hey, is that still available? Whatever. And you can just DM me and we can set that up. And it's okay to be brutally honest, like, Eileen, this is so shitty. How could you even say that or whatever?
New studies available on
Oops, sorry, I've got an extension on my.
So what is My Story Marketing, Eileen?
Well, it's really telling your story of how you had a problem, how you found the solution, and how it can help others. It's so that people can relate to you, basically. So for example, if you were doing it from a bookkeeper point of view, like why you got into bookkeeping, why you may have struggled with understanding, maybe you had another business and understanding your financing and what a mess it was. And, you know, it would keep you up at night. And then you found that, wait a minute, you actually do have a knack for numbers. You had an incredible mentor. And you have this passion to help others. And that's how you became a bookkeeper. So that's My Story Marketing. So it's very different than offering, okay, this is what I offer, XYZ, you know, do you want to sign up? That kind of thing. So that's My Story Marketing. And my, one of the people in the certification course teaches this marketing in my EFT certification course. So that's what I'm going through now. And yeah, so I would just like feedback if I am connecting with people or what I need to do that. So yeah, so if you just DM me, we can set that up and I can share the document with you.
I was gonna say, definitely sign me up. I mean, my background's totally different with having special needs kids and one in the seizure realm, and I'd be happy to help you in that market as well as provide my story if you need it. So, yep, I'll definitely DM you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I don't know if anybody has questions about emotional freedom technique. Many of you have worked with me, already know what it is, but it's really mindset working on the subconscious level. It's different than, it's actually compatible with what Megan does because she works more on the conscious level. So this is really going into the subconscious mind and getting to the cause of why you have a certain fear, why you're struggling with anxiety, and changing the memory. It's pretty phenomenal. So, so that's open to everybody except Debbie. We're not.
You already used my testimonial.
Debbie, you know where to find me. I don't know if that's an advantage or a disadvantage.
For you, not for me.
Uh-oh. You heard it here. She's threatening me, everybody.
Oh, please.
Live on Facebook.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. And that's all I have to say.
Awesome. Thank you, Eileen.
Mhm.
All right, anybody have questions or anything we can answer for y'all today? Y'all had some awesome questions today, for sure. All right, well, I'll make a post later today with all the links and everything, but I did post in the live on Facebook as if you need to set up a call with me to talk about the program or anything, happy to do that. I put the link there, and I'll make one with the link for anybody who wanted to purchase the quoting, all about quoting webinar that happened this week, or any of the other webinars. We'll make a post for that as well, so you'll have all of that information. And then the one-to-ones, we'll get those links and everything over to y'all. But if y'all have any questions, definitely feel free to let us know how we can help. Feel free to post in the group, send us a message, anything like that. And we are happy to help in any way that we can. So if y'all don't have anything, we'll go ahead and hop off. Thanks, Nicole. Glad you jumped on. But y'all have an awesome week, and we will see y'all next Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.